Hello there, World Tankers. Welcome back to another one of my videos, and today I'm going to be talking about the Pantera 44, which is the brand spanking new Tier 8 Italian auto reloader that has just hit the stores yesterday. Well, actually not the stores, but should I say the tech tree, because for once in a while I'm talking about a non-premium, and I'm so glad that this tank isn't a premium. I really thought it was going to be, just because it has a legendary camouflage, but it isn't, which makes it so much better. It not only looks great, but it can do the job, and you don't need to pay gold to play it. Now, of course, I'm going to be talking about this tank, how to run it, where to run it, and whether or not you should drop the current lines you're going for and go straight for the Pantera. Also, I want to give a huge thank to Fugit's Blitz. You couldn't see him. He was just running the Object 252U next to me. He decided to do a live stream in North America, and I wanted to hop in and do some battles with him. He's a great YouTuber if you don't know who he is. Great friend as well. And make sure to go subscribe to his channel. You can see the little card pop up right now if you aren't. Just make sure to subscribe to him. He has some excellent content and overall just a fantastic YouTuber. But that aside, I'm going to be getting straight into this tank. And first off, I'm going to be talking about the auto reloading mechanism just to describe it a little bit easier. So that you guys can understand it. So the way it works is you're going to see me rush a T30 down here. Or let me even say this RHM. You can see here I'm going to shoot one shell at that RHM, and it's reloading that shell instead of me having to reload the clip. Now, if you didn't see that, again, pay attention to my clip. I'm shooting at this T30 here. I'm going to shoot 2 shells in him, and you can see I have 1 shell left in the tank. Now, normally with like an AMX 5120, you'd have to reload the entire clip. However, with the Pantera, and that's the same as the Progetto and the, I think it's called the Protypio P or something, or the Standard B. I'm not sure what the tank is called. It's actually the Standard B, ignore me. But the Standard B has the same mechanism, and the way it works is just as you saw. Instead of shooting all 3 shells off and then having to reload the whole clip, you reload each shell at a time. So you can run this like a normal medium, and you can also run it like an autoloader, which is really, really cool. Now, if you want to find more out about this tank, make sure to go check out Wargaming's tutorial video they did do on the Italian auto reloaders and how the mechanism works, because I don't have enough time to talk about that in just this video, and this video is on the Pantera 44 as you saw in the title. So if you do want to find out more about that, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below of Wargaming's tutorial video they did do on the auto reloading mechanism. Make sure to go check that out if you are really interested in this line and want to find out how to play it more effectively and efficiently. However, back to the Pantera 44, I'm going to start talking about how the tank really is in my opinion. And to be honest, I really, really like it. Now you can see there, I was aiming at that enemy Pantera. It literally has 0 armor. The front plate is 80 millimeters thick. That is just pretty much paper wafer thin. You know, this would make a Nazorn almost look armored. Now I know that's not true, but it really just has absolutely 0 armor, which means that if anything with high explosive is to aim at your lower plate, and I mean high explosive by like 150 millimeter. If an SU-152 were to aim at your lower plate, your sides, the side of your turret, the rear of your tank, anywhere pretty much except for that front upper plate, it would penetrate. And the only reason it wouldn't penetrate your upper front plate is just because of the angle it's sitting at. But it's really not armored at all. But because it's so lightly armored and it only weighs around 44 tons, you can see this thing is super quick. It reminds me of the Lorraine almost. It's that quick. And this tank is really good at ramming, just like the Lorraine, and it's got that same amazing clip almost. And if you like the Lorraine, you will definitely like this tank. However, my main issue with the Lorraine when it came out was, first of all, is that it takes, 20-something seconds to reload the entire clip. And second of all is that it has 4 shells in the clip. And the issue for that with me is that it takes me too long while I'm sitting out in the open to unload all 4 of those shells, where this tank you can unload all 3, back out into cover, or you can shoot it like a normal medium after that. And that's what makes this tank so unique and cool is, if I'm shooting at a tank, let's say like this 047, and I shoot off the clip, if he were to push on me, I can literally get 1 shell back at a time and keep shooting at him. Which really helps me out instead of reloading the entire clip. And the reason that's awesome is because even if you're doing less damage per minute than you would be if you were to reload the whole clip and shoot him out, What that means is that people are going to be more hesitant to push on you, because instead of being able to push on you and shooting you and shooting you and shooting you and then backing up, this way, you can keep shooting them when they push on you, so you're really maximizing, how much damage you can really pump into their tank. But you can see here, I'm just running it like a normal medium. It does take a while to shoot off the shells, though. It's around a 6.7-second reload for each shell, which is about a second and a half longer than the normal CDC. So unfortunately, the Pantera is not sitting at a great amount of damage, only around 2,200. When you compare that to a tank like the CDC, I think it's sitting around 2,700 in the CDC. And that's the same way for all the auto reloaders in the game. They don't have a great damage per minute, and that's a way to balance them out, because if they could run like a normal medium and shoot like a normal medium, as well as save extra shells to be able to use later in a clip, that would make them so broken and overpowered. But because they have such low damage per minute, it really evens them out. So the main thing I want to say about this tank is, if you are a new player and you're really intrigued in this line, I really wouldn't suggest to go for it, because this tank, as I said, has 0 armor. It's a very targeted tank, and it's a very tricky one to run because of the auto-reloading mechanism. It has very tough characteristics to learn about on how to effectively and efficiently maximize the amount of damage per minute you can really pull out. When to shoot off your whole clip and when to save a couple shells in your clip to maximize the damage per minute as well. So there's quite a few tough things to know about this tank. And this game you're seeing here was actually my first game I ever played in the tank. And this is the main reason why I like it so much, is you can see right now it's a 1 versus 4, and I'm sitting with 3 kills on my palette, which means that if I'm actually able to pull off this game, I will pick up a Resenize medal. So keep your fingers crossed, and I hope that I am able to pull it out. But you can see, because this tank is so quick, I was able to just outmaneuver their entire team, get away. Even that E25 I outmaneuvered and was able to get all the way away. And now I'm going to be shooting at this object 252. Now, unfortunately, there was a building there. I didn't see it, or not a building, but a crate. But we're already able to slam that 252 once, making him pretty much a one-shot if I'm able to outload my whole clip into him. And you can see already we've got 3 shells in the back into the clip. And that's why I like this tank so much, is I would have only had 2 shells in the clip there, where now I have 3 shells. Now I do mess up that shell. That was a bit of a tricky one there. You can see, unlike a normal autoloader, I'm able to maximize the damage I'm outputting. Right now I'd have another about 15 seconds left of reloading. That E25 would just be shooting and shooting and shooting at me. And even when I do get the clip back, if I just mess one of my shells up, I am screwed. This tank, if you mess one of your shells up, big deal. You have another shell that you can get back immediately. And that's one really nice thing about this tank, is it's forgiving. If you mess up one shell, you just load it back. You can see here, I'm just going to wait for my clip to reload. I'm going to shoot at that Pantera. Now, unfortunately, I did just tap it a little teeny bit too early. But now, unlike reloading the whole clip and that Pantera pushing on me, I can just keep reloading each shell at a time while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here on how I'm going to take out both of these tanks. And we turn this complete, utter destruction and defeat into a 1 versus 1. And I'm sitting at 6 kills, and that Pantera messes up the shot. Are we going to be able to get him, though? We're reloading our final shell into the clip now. Are we going to be able to get him? Let's keep our fingers crossed, and boom! There you go, 4,962 damage, and you can see only 445 blocked. If I had been shot anywhere on this game, I probably would have lost it. But you can see I just did an excellent game. Pulled out the Mastery, pulled out a Colabanos, pulled out a Reseni. This is probably the best game I have played in months. It was that good and so perfectly played out, and everything just went right into place like a jigsaw puzzle. So to be honest, I love this tank. I think it is one of the most fantastic tank lines ever brought in the Blitz. And you know what? I would say to stop going down any other line you're doing if you really like autoloaders and want to try out this new characteristic. The Tier 6 is okay. The Tier 7 I wasn't a huge fan of, but the Tier 8 is so awesome. And the Tier 9 I'm guessing is going to be really good as well, because it gets that 350 damage clip. I'm guessing that tank's going to be awesome as well. I'm going to try and get a video out on that tomorrow. But overall, these tanks are awesome. They're new. Go get them while they're still awesome in the game and they're not nerfed yet. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. As always, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.